guys, it's Daisy here, and I have no idea how to start my intro today. I haven't really done one of these before, or if I have, it's been a while. But in light of May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to just sit down, chat with you guys raw as I'm unboxing, just talk about mental health, the importance of it, and the role that LPS play in benefiting our mental health. This is one of those videos that you can listen to while you're doing your chores or in the car, safely, just the audio, and just chill out, come hang with us. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a random one. I'm gonna open this middle tube and we'll see what we get. I know you can tell the difference based on the colors that are at the top of the tube. I grabbed the green one, but I'm not gonna bother to look up what this is because this is supposed to be chilled out, relaxing. I want to surprise myself. So yeah, if you don't already know, Mental Health Awareness Month takes place throughout the month of May, and as the name implies, brings awareness to, well, mental health. There are many definitions of mental health, but the World Health Organization defines it as a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities. Obviously, physical and mental health have their differences, but they're actually more interconnected than we think. There's a saying in psychology, oh geez, more tape? Are you kidding me? For those of you that don't know, I majored in psychology in college, and one of the very first things that we're told during class is that everything psychological is biological. What we mean is that sometimes physical symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, shortness of breath can often stem from how we're feeling internally, like in terms of anxiety, depression, just stress, whatever obstacle that we have to deal with, and how our body and mind manages things. And stress, if not managed well, can manifest into our physical health. Like, for example, stress associated with our jobs because we're sitting down all day on the computer can manifest into things like backaches, headaches. If I were sitting like hunched like this long term, that's just a perfect example of like if I didn't move around, if I didn't take care of my body, then it can manifest into like backaches or headaches. All right, let's pull this puppy out. Ooh, okay, we got some LPS to unbox. All right, and it looks like we've got, oh, token. If you want to redeem that, you can. Ooh, we got the pack with the horses. Wait, did I just say horses? There's only one horse. I said horses plural, whoopsie. Stress is often perceived like in our environment, like back in the caveman days where we had to fight for our food, fight off against predators, and be prepared to attack, activating that fight or flight reflexes. Oh, look at that, and we got the horse on our first try. Ooh, okay, the paint job is a little iffy. He's got like chocolate dripping hooves. Interesting. Oh, that's supposed to be the fluff. Okay. It's a little rough around the edges. The paint job could be a little better. And he came with this bucket. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this color scheme. It's pretty simple looking. I mean, on the one hand, it's not too flashy. The only thing that is flashy is this front streak, but that's okay. Oh, and according to the card, he is the hungriest level 2 and exotic type. But obviously in this day and age, there's no bear to fight off. We don't have to fight for our food. We can get them in grocery stores. So a lot of the times the stress that we deal with is often internal, like in relationships. Ooh, look at this cutie. And she came with a little salad. Nice color scheme, very simple. Very demure, very mindful. Like, this isn't stressful at all. And the bobbling sound, listen. Listen to this. Ooh. Is that radiating through your speakers on your screen right now? So yeah, nowadays the stress that we deal with is internal. So like it can be things like a relationship. It could be related to school or work. Even though they're technically not threats to our lives, the things that we perceive based on like what society expects from us, like you better get an A on that exam or you're gonna fail in life, or oh, you better do well in this job or you're gonna be fired, is still stressful. Aw, little rooster man. Aw, look at him. He's so little. He looks like a little orange starburst. You gotta admit, he kind of does look like Starburst. Like when you open the orange Starburst, the expectations from the wrapper, and then the reality when you open it, it's like a really subdued type of orange, and it's so cute. Here's the overview of the 3 pets that we just unboxed. Just to recap, if you get the tube with the green paw prints, you're going to wind up with the rooster, Jack Russell, I believe, and the pony. So now we're gonna move on to the next two while we continue the conversation of mental health. All right, I'm just gonna grab a random one. We'll just grab the next one. This one's the pink paw print, so let's see what's in here. So yeah, societal constructs and expectations such as these are our modern day versions of the bear that we have to fight off. And these are things that we're taught very early on. And that's also why certain phobias, like for example, I have a fear of spiders, can manifest in the modern world. Even though I know that spiders here in the US are typically harmless, I still freak out whenever I see one. All right, let's slide this puppy out. Oh, God, more tape. Oh wait, I forgot you can just tear this open. Oh, I didn't even need to pull out all that tape. Okay, that just calmed my nerves right down. The main culprit behind our reactions to stressful experiences is our nervous systems. They allow us to pretty much feel and think everything. And our brain acts like a radio, sending signals to our nerves all across the body. And the nerves tell our brain what we're experiencing in the outside world. It's how we see, feel, hear, and touch things and how we react to those things. And perceived stress triggers the release of cortisol and adrenaline across our sympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system is what arouses our body to fight or flight and inhibits the parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes our body. Look at this guy! Look at this little, oh my gosh, look at this little muffin! So cute. Okay, my system is aroused. My nervous system is aroused right now, but it is a happy type of arousal. It is so... It looks just like Monica. Hang on. Okay, so I have a Cocker Spaniel that looks almost exactly like this, except her indigo is a bit more dull than this one. I mean, I love Monica. She'll always be my one and only Monica. But I also want to appreciate how much more saturated this Cocker Spaniel is while staying true to the original. She is a bit squishy though. And she came with this little bowl. But yeah, long story short, sympathetic nervous system triggers our body to react, fight or flight, triggers anxiety. And then the parasympathetic nervous system calms us down, like reduces our heart rate. The thing is though, there's a catch. Too much stress can be taxing on our energy because our nervous system is working overtime. And after you get out of a stressful situation, it feels like you've run a marathon. So you just wind up getting burnt out and tired all the time. Oh, look at this little, look at it. Oh my gosh. It's all my favorite colors wrapped into one. It's pink and blue and purple. And for some reason it came with a rope. This is a new type of mold that they use to make their ropes. I'm surprised, I've never seen this one before. I mean, I've had rope accessories before, but never looking like this, so it must be new. All right, let me try. I wonder if I can put it on its antenna. I don't know why I just did that. I mean, it looks like she's wearing like a cute little hair bow, but we're gonna work with that. There's no right or wrong when it comes to how we interact with our LPS. But yeah, every single part of our body has nerves, which are intertwined with neurons, which are a type of cell that sends signals from our brain to the rest of our body and vice versa. And if you don't, did you know that the stomach has millions of neurons? There's something called brain-gut communication, and stress can affect our gastrointestinal health, which leads to things like stomach aches or our digestive system shutting down when fight or flight is on. Oh my goodness. I bet that these guys don't have to deal with any stress. They're so lucky. They can just hide in their shelves. They're carrying their safe space with them. They can just hide and with thick skin and go about their day. Oh, look at this. And he came with a pizza! Roblox code. You guys are welcome to redeem as you please. And we got the card for the Cocker Spaniel. It is the happiest type, level 2, and a core type. Okay, and we are down to our final two, but I want to keep the conversation going even after we're done unboxing them, so don't worry, there's still more to come. And this is the orange paw print. I think you know what's coming, but we're just gonna open it and assume it's a surprise. Stress can also trigger respiratory symptoms from time to time. Sometimes that can lead to shortness of breath. You can hyperventilate. Like when I'm having a panic attack, I tend to hyperventilate. Even when there's nothing to fight, the stress can boil internally. And just a disclaimer, these are just some of the common signs of stress, and I am in no means trying to tell you how to manage stress, but I want to make more people aware of the types of symptoms that people can deal with. But I also want to counteract it with ways that we can take care of ourselves every now and then. And I do have a major in psychology, but I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist by any means. I would recommend seeking out a healthcare professional or a therapist that can answer all your questions. And now, speaking on my own personal experiences, some of the examples of stressors that I've had to deal with are things like final exams, like I mentioned earlier, like when I had to cram and study so hard, which meant pulling all-nighters, which led to improper sleeping habits or a lack of sleep. Sometimes I wouldn't eat full meals and I would just snack more on things because I just wouldn't have the time, which contributed to a poor diet and leaving me not as hungry for more nutritious meals. Like I mentioned before, sitting all day is not good for you. Your body needs the exercise, and if you don't move around, then that can contribute to poor physical health. When you're stressed and worried about too many things at once or over one little thing, it can make it hard to focus on the things that you need to do. You get irritated by the smallest things because your amygdala, which is the little part of your brain that controls emotional regulation, usually when it's active, it allows you to stop feeling angry about something. Well, not stop feeling angry about something, but you become less irritated. You're like, okay, I can get through this. But if it's not functioning well, it can make you more likely to lash out over the littlest things. It makes you more impulsive. And then when I'm stressed, sometimes you can spiral into what ifs, like anxiety over the future, and just go into a rabbit hole. But this is no rabbit, this is a deer. Oh dear, we got ourselves into this rabbit hole. Aw, she's so adorable, and she has a heart-faced marking on her face. Look at her. Next to the Cocker Spaniel, this might just be one of my favorites that came out of this mystery tube set. It came with a little mouse for some reason, a bit arbitrary, but we're going with it. But yeah, those were just a few examples of symptoms of stress or burnout that I've had to deal with, and all of the above are signs for me that I need to stop and just take a break. And there are many different ways that we can manage mental health. If we're not feeling that great, if we experience any of the following symptoms that I mentioned, or if you feel like your life is in shambles or things are out of your control, that could be a sign to stop and take a break and figure out ways to manage mental well-being. Oh, look at the fox. This looks like LPS Emily's old mascot. And actually, you know what? I do have a G2 version of this. Hang on a sec. Okay, so this is the original G2 fox, which has the happiest eye shine for some reason. And then this is the G7 one that I just opened. Very noticeable similarities, but as you can tell, their eye shapes are different. And also, the molds are a bit different. This guy looks a bit shorter. The bobble looks a bit different. Yeah, and also the color I feel like on this one is a little more saturated than on this hand-painted fox. And before I forget, this little fox came with a pack of peanuts. Delicious. I mean, peanuts are good and good for you, granted, if you're not allergic to peanuts. I mean, other nuts, other grains can be healthy and nutritious. Those can be good to snack on. That's also a way to manage mental health, is to, eat full meals, not skip any of the nutritious foods, get fruits and vegetables into you. Some other ways that I like to manage mental health, I started this routine where with my dad, we often have this moderate exercise routine. We take long walks, and more specifically set up a goal to take 10,000 steps, walk 10,000 steps about 2 to 3 times a week. And I've also started doing yoga and Pilates sessions once a week with my besties. And exercise can actually be a great way to channel the fight part of your sympathetic nervous system, and the earlier you do exercise in the day, the more productive you feel, because it stimulates the hormone dopamine, which actually tends to reduce depressive symptoms. But oh my goodness, let me appreciate this little bird for just a moment. That's actually another thing, getting out into nature, walking around in nature, immersing yourself in the beauty of the world, stopping and smelling the roses, looking at the birds, appreciating those little things in life. That's one way to engage in mindful thinking and ground yourself in the moment instead of worrying about the past or the future. And also, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We were just talking about nutritious foods. These LPS know what's up. And the card we got is, whoop, it's the deer. And according to this card, this deer is the friendliest type, level 2 exotic. Roblox code, feel free to redeem. So we just unboxed all of our LPS, but I don't want to end the conversation just yet. I figured while I continue talking about mental health, we could do a runway check. But it doesn't have to be one of those super serious formal runway checks. I could just, bobble the LPS around like this while we're talking. Another way that I like to manage my mental well-being is to get off social media. Putting away distractions, like turning off your notifications, can be really helpful. Actually, notifications can be thought of as artificial sources of dopamine. They're made to grab your attention and keep you online. So what I do is I activate Do Not Disturb mode on my phone, and that seems to do the trick. But I understand that using technology is unavoidable, and that's kind of the caveat in this modern day and age of work-life balance. Everything is made so that you're chronically online, or if not online, you're looking at a screen. One thing that helps my focus and makes things less distracting is if I take my technology and bring it to a public space, like at a local coffee shop or a library. I've been trying to go to the library more often. When you're not confined to the same space every single day of your life, it's a good way to break a habit if you're outside of the environment that triggers those habits. So being surrounded by people that are in the work zone and aren't distracted can rewire your brain to create a new, much healthier habit. The more you know. I also found that staying socially active outside the house has been really helpful. I've made it a goal where I try to make time at least once a week with my close friends and some of my former colleagues, both in... Oh. This chicken just clucked down on me. But even if you don't have in-person friends, making time for online friends can also count. Like sometimes I'll catch up with my buddies, on Discord. It's just so satisfying when they click, clack, cluck. I know it can be rather hard to engage in social interactions if you're more introverted on some days or most of the time than others. I get it. It can be tough meeting new people, but there are times where it can be much easier to confide in people that aren't in your direct household so that you're just not talking to the same person the whole time. And not only that, we're humans. We are evolved to be social animals. We evolved to be around other people. We're a pack. Like, we need the company of other people to stay sane. Like, we're not meant to be solitary creatures all the time. Like, for instance, at my previous job, my colleagues and I, we would take the time to grab lunch together, or after work, we'd go to trivia night, or go to karaoke. That's always a fun time. If you haven't gone karaoke, y'all are missing out. It is so much fun. No one's gonna judge you if you're a bad singer. You're just there to have a good time and just cheer each other on when your favorite song comes on. You know the lyrics. And that actually sparked the idea to create my karaoke night skit back in October. So y'all, if you are an LPS creator and looking for video ideas, may not be such a bad idea to go hang out with your buddies. And on that note, confiding in your loved ones, friends, or family can be just as vital to help with mental well-being. Like I mentioned before, we're social animals, and if we just bottle up all our emotions and just keep them inside, we're just letting the stress kind of like boil over inside of us until eventually our lids can't hold them in anymore, and it just turns into a full-on breakdown or meltdown. Don't wait until the last minute to ask someone for help. And it doesn't have to be with your direct household. Like I said, you can confide in a friend or a professional or an acquaintance, just someone that you trust and someone that will be willing to listen and empathize with your situation. And in the moments when those people aren't available, you can also confide in a journal. Write those feelings out. Get them out in the physical world somewhere. Look at the tiny turtle. Ooh. Why won't this camera focus on this tiny turtle? Focus up. Thank you. One other way I like to take care of myself is to stick with a strict sleep schedule. I personally found that I wake up feeling more refreshed and productive when A, my body is naturally waking up, and 2, when I go to sleep at the exact same time and hour and wake up at the exact same time and hour. It rewires your circadian rhythm to anticipate, oh, the body gets up at this period in time, I should probably start waking up now. And again, this is easier said than done. And I especially sympathize with people that have to wake up early to go to work, and also for people that have to wake up early for school and have to pull off all-nighters. And, you know, everyone is going to experience burnout at some point. It's okay. You're not a bad person for, you know, failing to adhere to these certain things. It's fine to miss a day or two, but if it becomes a chronic issue where you're not getting enough sleep, that's a problem waiting to boil over if it's not taken care of. I guess what I'm trying to say that, you know, it's important to be disciplined in your approach, but don't be too hard on yourself if you miss a day. I mean, I will admit, there are days where I don't adhere to a proper sleep schedule. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of those creative late night sessions where I'm just writing ideas away in my notepad or staying up to pull off an all-nighter like I did for the LPS Tube Day Award ceremony. That's okay. One way I like to combat with this, and I recommend if you're not able to get the sleep you need and have to pull off that all-nighter, just take a nap the next day. A lot, maybe about 30 minutes, an hour, however long you need to catch up with your sleep in the middle of the day. And remember, these are just a few of many ways that you can take care of your mental health. Don't be afraid to get creative. Just anything that you feel is going to make you feel better, whether that's drawing or journaling or, watching funny videos, spending time with your buddies, taking a hot bath, doing your skincare routine, just doing the bare minimum, doing the little things, taking it one step at a time can just make a world of a difference. As long as you are aware of how you're feeling and you're taking the steps that you need to feel better again. Whoa, check out the lighting. It's the sun starting to set. I should probably wrap this up pretty soon. Ooh, what if I change the angle? She's looking cute. I love this angle. At the end of the day, life can be a lot sometimes. Some factors that affect mental health are harder to navigate than others. And some of the days that you walk through in life are going to be harder as well. And that's okay. Your feelings are valid. You're not being dramatic. You're not a failure. You're not being a burden. We're all human. Well, in this case, we're all living beings with passions to pursue, hurdles to jump, and emotions to feel when things don't go our way. The world's gotten bigger, more advanced, more complicated than our primate predecessors had to deal with. All right, this is the last pet we're gonna do the runway check with. Whee! Oh, this lighting is really making this bit. More light coming through, yes! Bring forth the vitamin D. I am severely deficient right now. Thank you very much. Oh, that's another way to improve mental health. Stick out in the sunshine if you can. If you've got a vitamin D deficiency, you don't need to pay extra for supplements. You got nature. You got nature to give you those vitamins that you need. Believe it or not, LPS have become a great means of managing mental well-being. And not just through making and processing our emotions through watching or making these videos, but also in other ways too. LPS are so versatile, they go beyond just the intended demographic of little girls. Playing with them and dressing them up, customizers use them to create beautiful masterpieces. Art takes a lot of concentration and attention to detail, so it can very well ground you in the present moment. It can be quite relaxing. Just the sounds of the LPS bobbling can be soothing. It can be a form of mindfulness meditation that grounds you with this soothing ASMR, can be very nostalgic. The stories that you put these little guys in can make people smile and laugh on bad days. Other times they can make good company, make good desk buddies. You can just have them on your desk while you're working. That can also be a great conversation starter for anyone not familiar with LPS. People aren't gonna judge you if you're at work and they see you have a desk buddy. I'm sure people probably have figurines from franchises like Star Wars or Lego or something else that they enjoy that's from their childhood or something that they still enjoy to this present day. And not just LPS by themselves either. LPS Tube as a community just interacting with the awesome people that are here and watching the things that people create can be a great way to get your mind off of things and just live in the moment. This community has been my constant since I came to this platform, and it may not seem like it now, but one more important thing to remember is that you're not alone in your struggles. You may not be going through the exact same thing as someone else is, and probably the degree to which you're experiencing it may be different, but we're all in this together. Everyone has some baggage that they have to carry around with them, whether that be physical or mental. We're all human. And even for someone that's studied psychology in college for 4 years in their undergrad and 1 year in their master's program, we're also not immune to having bad days every now and then. But you are not alone. You will get through this. Nothing will stay the same forever. You're allowed to feel what you're feeling in the moment, but you are not allowed to give up whatsoever. You will get out of this. You will accomplish the very things that you want to achieve. Sometimes life has a weird way of surprising us, and the accomplishments will come, the successes will come sometimes when you least expect them. Even the most successful people struggle to get to where they are now. First of all, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, he was cut from his high school team. Dr. Seuss, the famous children's author, his first book was rejected by 27 publishers. And flipping Walt Disney, he was fired from his job as a newspaper early in his career because they said he lacked imagination. Well, look at these guys now, and look how far they come. Imagine what would have happened if they had just stayed where they were. Just take as much time as you need to feel better. Maintaining your mental health is not a race. And once you do, don't forget to channel that inner growth mindset. Remember that the things that you're going through in life are not going to be forever, as long as you're willing to take that very first step forward. Mental health and our management of it looks different for everyone, and no one way of mental health management is better than another. It just depends on what works best for you and your schedule and everything else that's going on in your life. And with that, that's all I have for you in today's video. I hope you guys found comfort through the little talk, the little chat. And like I mentioned before, there's nothing wrong with feeling a certain type of way. It's okay. It's not your fault, and things will get better, but you are not allowed to give up on yourself. You can do this. I love you guys so much. Stay safe. Please take care. You've got this, and more people care about you than you think. Bye, guys.